Shri Guru Charanang Vande Ramana Pristaya Bhutale Rupanuga Bhaktidam Cha Kripamurti Narayanam Seva Kunje Braje Ramye Govardhane Giro Sada Radha Kundirasanande Tattat Seva Pradayakam Gurung Narayanakyam Tang Vande Vinoda Pristakam Yatpada Smriti Matrena Damodhara Prasiddhati Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Charya Singha Rupine Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava iti Namine Ati Martya Charitraya Swashritanancha Palane Jiva Duke Sadhartaya Shri Nama Prema Dhayane Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratashe Namah Yata Yata Gaura Padara Binde Bindeta Bhaktim Krita Punya Rashi Tata Tatutsarpita Hridya Kasmad Radha Padamboja Sudhamburasi Ha Devi Kakubar Gadgara Yadyavacha Yache Nipatya Bhuvidandavaruddhatarthi Asya Prasadam Abudasya Janasya Kritva Gandharvike Nijaganai Garanam Videhi Shama Sundar Shikanda Shekara Smeraha Samurali Manohara Radhikarasika Mam Kripanidhe Swapriya Charanam Kim Karim Kuru Aho Bhagyam Nanda Gopa Brajokasam Yanmitranga Paramanandam Purnanga Brahma Sanatanam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Dayal Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Gurudeva Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Manju Ki Jai Lalita Vishakasta Sakhi Brinda Ki Jai Shri Rupa Rati Manjari Adi Manjari Brinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari 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 Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Senior devotees, Matajis, Prabhus, Haribo. Jai. So, I'm subbing in here in the morning. I was asking Mataji to speak, but she's requesting me to say something. But in the evenings, I'm speaking on Shri Ras Panchadhyay. Last night we gave little improv discussion. Why? Because I have so much service, especially in publications. So because I am presently working on the Ras Panchadhyay publication, then it helps me to focus. It's hard for me to do too many things at once. So in the evenings we'll speak on Ras Panchadhyay. When I'm here, when I'm not here, I'll continue. It's going to be at least a month worth of lectures. But I'm working on 62 lectures. So depends how much we summarize. Sometimes it's nice to go into a few points in depth. And so sometimes you may only get through one paragraph of a lecture in one class. There's no guarantee. I was working on it last night, and there were so many amazing points. We're working on Prabhuji's Harikatha from Ras Panchadhyay, and it's so much nectar there. And one thing I really appreciate about Harikatha is it's very relevant, good teaching and training for sadhakas, practitioners. A lot of Harikatha is very important instructions and teachings, but something that we can relate with, that helps us navigate the spiritual path, is very beneficial. It's the purpose of Harikatha. Harikatha is, we're hearing about Krishna, his names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, and also hearing about how we can advance in spiritual life, the obstacles we'll face, and how we can have a strong, I was talking about this a few days ago, we need a strong spiritual immune system, right? It's important. Strong spiritual immune system. So where does that immune system come from? That is always from Harikatha. Gurudev would say this in his lectures, that Harikatha is the only way, really, for someone on the path of, especially the renounced order of life. Especially in the renounced order of life, Harikatha is our life blood, our support, our pran. In family life, kirtan, gatherings, this is good. But for those in the renounced order of life especially, Harikatha is necessary to hear. Punya Shravana Kirtana. This is the most auspicious thing. Prabhupada Gurudev is one of his favorite verses. Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata, upariyor api dristo antas tvanayas tattvadarshibhi. This is one of Prabhupada Gurudev's favorite verses. Gurudev mentioned like this. So it's nice. What's my grandfather's favorite verse? So one of our grandfathers, our spiritual grandfather's favorite verses is this Bhagavad Gita verse. Nasato vidyate bhavo. Krishna says in the Gita, that which is na asat, not real. Nasato vidyate bhavo. It looks real, but it's not real. That's temporary. Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata. And what is truth is never temporary. That's why truth always prevails. Right? Sat versus asat. So Harikatha helps us understand what is real and what is not real. That's Harikatha. What is real, what is not real, what is just the mind, an illusion, and ignorance, and what is true and param true. Param satyam dhimahi. We meditate upon the absolute satya, the absolute truth. It's very important. So Harikatha helps us meditate in a real, practical manner on the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality, Sri Krishna. So Param Gurudev really loved this verse, because for those, especially in the renounced order of life, Harikatha helps us remind ourselves what is sat and what is asat. Raghunath Das Goswami said in Manashiksha, right? Asad varta visya visrajamati sarvasya harani. Our intelligence is stolen away by the prostitute of asat varta, which means materialistic thinking and thoughts and topics. Even philosophers, scholars, great intellectual personalities, because they're focused on asat, their speech is a form of prostitution. So many great philosophers. But Param Gurudev loved this verse. That's why we speak from the spiritual platform of the Sastra, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the scriptures, because this is the difference between Sat and Asat. Everything else is illusion. Illusion, confusion. What does Acharya Ratnamaharsh say? Illusion, confusion. So how can we go forward in spiritual life? Not remain stuck or go back. How can we go forward in spiritual life? Therefore we take shelter of Harikatha. It's most important. Most important. And what is Harikatha? Harikatha is Krishna Katha, but Krishna Katha is also Bhakta Charitra, the glories of the Vaishnavas. Why the Srimad Bhagavatam, so many glories of devotees are present. And in our scriptures, so many glories of the devotees are present. It's a very difficult thing, Manashiksha, lessons to the mind. Asad Varta Vishya Vishrajamati, the prostitute of material topics, steals away our intelligence. We become bewildered into material and attached to material life. So what is the remedy? The remedy is not hearing anything. The remedy is hearing what is proper, what is positive. So this is our service. So this helps us have a strong spiritual immune system. If you become very fixed in the path of spiritual life, that you can help everyone, then you can take these material sounds and counteract them with spiritual sounds. Swami Prabhupada, he would speak about these mundane subject matters, but he would always apply a Krishna conscious perspective. He didn't talk about them for the sake of talking about them, right? So it's also my service. I'll have to speak about some of these subject matters, not in general classes, but so that the general class of people will find Harikatha. This is something, I'm just giving a little overview of my service coming forward in the next few months and continuing from there. How do you form new memories? You have to associate something new with something you know already. So people in this world, they only know material life. They only know this world and these worldly subjects. So you have to help them by association, sadhu sangha, right? I've been thinking about this recently, so I didn't have any plan for this morning specifically, but association is so important. Why? It helps us go from where we are to where we need to go. Higher association, so we can go higher. So in the same way, how do you form new memories? They say by building on what you know and adding something new, like in education. Right? First you teach a child how to put A, and it takes a long time to learn the alphabet. How long does it take to learn the alphabet? I don't know. It can take a long time.
Some kids take a long time. Some kids do it like that.
So it takes some time then to form sentences and then to understand them. And we have to build on what we know. So Harikatha is building on what we know, but piercing through Maya. Piercing through Maya. So there's a lot of interesting subject matters. Also, Gurudev has been talking about them in his classes. So I'm just here, since we're all here together, I want to give a little overview of what we were doing the last few weeks for the devotees also online. In Vancouver, the devotees were very receptive. We preached there for 10 days, and people automatically wanted to participate and be part of what we're doing. So also they're following our Radhe Kunj, Bhaktabandav, our Prabhuji. So we opened Nam Hatta centers, preaching centers in Surrey, British Columbia, with Rup Raghunath Prabhu and Brajadevi Mataji and their daughters. And then in downtown Vancouver with Binay Krishna Prabhu, who's been doing book distribution for 25 years, almost every day, rain or shine. And in the same spot, so everyone in the whole town knows him. He's like the street minister of the whole city. And he knows them, he knows their grandkids, he knows what their problems in life. People stop and just talk to him. And he's like, oh, how's this? And how's your this? And how's your cousin? And how's your nephew? And on such a familiar basis, that's how Sanatana Goswami preached. how Narahari Seva Vigraha Prabhu preached, just being a friend to people, not even trying to convert them to anything, just being their spiritual friend, like a street pastor. No occupation but service to people. No one's giving any donation, no one's funding anything, he's just there helping people. So then also we are opening at his place, and then in Surrey, and then Manjari Didi and Krishna Prem were like, well, what about our place? That's also Bhakti Bandhav. So then they also open. Everyone has a nice apartment or house. So every house is a preaching center, every house is a temple. This is how we're going to revolutionize preaching, right? By going back to our traditions. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur opened 650 Namhata centers. And everywhere he would go, he would make each area person the leader. Okay, your house, you bring people together, and at least on Ekadashi, come together for a program. Or if you can't do that, on the weekend in the West, in Indian culture, the weekend was Ekadashi, right? In Western culture, we're lazy, so we get 4 days off every 2 weeks. Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. But Indian culture, no, Ekadashi, 1 day off every 2 weeks, only for bhajan, right? So come together for Ekadashi. This is how Bhaktivinoda Thakur did it. He said, whoever is taking care of that village, there'll be a leader in that village, and they'll invite everybody and support everyone. They'll come together for programs, and that'll become a Namhata center. And we can make hundreds of centers like this. And there's no maintenance fee. Why? This is personal home, private residence, and it's more intimate and friendly. People feel very grateful. Oh, you're inviting me to your own home. You're giving me your own address, right? And you're sitting down with me at your dinner table and sharing a meal with me. So this is going to be a big focus in our preaching, right? How long would it take to build a big temple there? Now we have 3 centers, right? Very easy. All you have to do is share a bond in your heart, love and affection, service, and go to give. Should be our new mantra. Go to give. I have my slogans. This is my campaign. Go to give. This is our preaching mantra. Go forth and give. We were talking about this last night, right? Sadhu means those who give. Harikatha means giving. And all we ask is ears. You don't have to cut them off, you just have to open them for a little bit. Clear out the earwax. Go to give. So if you go to give and you have love and affection, then everything can flourish like nature. Nature is always giving. Therefore we're able to live. The trees are giving us oxygen. Therefore we're able to breathe. Right? The soil is giving us food. Therefore we're able to eat. So Mother Earth is always providing. And if we go to places with this provider mentality, then everyone is so excited. Because for the first time in a long time, someone's coming to give. Everyone's giving Harikatha, but it's not just Harikatha, it's everything surrounding Harikatha. It's pick me up and pay for this and give me that and how much donation you can give. Some places we went, say, oh, I'll only come if you give this many $1,000. It's like, you're coming to give or you're coming to take? You're coming for a paycheck? Or you're coming to give love and affection and spiritual help. Spiritual teachings that help us with, like, it's not about money, it's about caring for the individual and their spiritual growth. And like that's really caring about someone. To really care about someone means to see that they're suffering in samsara, in false attachment in the illusory material life that's temporary, and to really care about that soul present and help them understand what is real spiritual life and what is the real meaning. And if they're coming to a program, that means they're already looking for that. So we were there. Also Eugene with Jagannath Prabhuji has a very beautiful ashram, Bhakti ashram. So we were there for 4 days, and he also is connected to us, affiliated. He'll be in our books, in our centers list. So Prabhuji gave me the instruction to, he said, every ounce of energy you have, you should preach. His instruction to me, which means that also you should maintain your energy, right? But he said, every ounce of energy you have, you should preach. This is so pleasing to the Guru Varga. I showed him pictures. Some of the pictures I shared in the chat, and Prabhuji was very happy. So I feel very fortunate that we have Prabhuji's presence. We can share Harikatha and help people, but then we can also bring them to Vrindavan and to the shelter of the pure devotees. And by doing this, then we can do some meaningful service to Guru Pada Padma. Right? Otherwise, our capacity is limited also. Right? We are not the sun. The sun may give 100 watts of energy, and we can give 100 watts of energy, but then you should bring them to the sun of spiritual life. Give all that energy. And so that's why I feel like Prabhuji's instruction to me is very important. Use every ounce of energy we can now to preach, because now we can bring them to Vrindavan, to the pure devotee, Vaishnav, and then everyone can achieve Prema Bhakti in this life. Bhakti Bhava Prem, Dina Prakashata. Shri Gurudev mentioned this many times. He said, don't think that spiritual life is not attainable. Some spiritual advancement is not attainable. Just according to the degree of your dedication. You can cut through karma like a sharp knife, it's hot knife through butter. You can cut through karma. Karma is very difficult, very thick, very tangled, like a web, spider web. You're stuck as a fly in the spider web. But you take a hot knife, right? Cut through the web of Maya. How? Through Harikatha. Sante Vaisa Chindanti. There's a verse. Sante Vaisa Chindanti. The sadhus speak, and it cuts through the web of Maya. The knots. Yes. Bidyate Hridaya Grantis. This is in this sequence, famous sequence of slokas. Shrindvata Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyanta Stoya Badrani Vinunoti Suritsatam Nasta Preshva Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamash Loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. And then afterwards it talks about this. Bidyate Hridaya Grantis. By hearing Harikatha, then it can cut through the knots of attachment in the heart to material life. It cuts them asunder. So, but this is Harikatha is sweet. This is what we were talking about last night. It's the path of rasa, not the path of negation. Addition, not subtraction. And not even addition, multiplication. How? Bhakti is the process of multiplication. Yoga is the path of, right, subtraction and addition. Subtract the negative and add something positive, Gyan, addition a little bit. But Bhakti Yoga is multiplication. We can gallop forward on the path of bhakti. It's said in the path of rag especially, this is multiplication. Why? It said you can close your eyes and run. Why is it multiplication? Because you take one step sincerely towards Krishna, he takes 100 to you, 1,000 to you. We were making this point last night, right? We may say, oh, my bhakti is very small, and my material attachments are so great. My lust, anger, madness, and all. If I look at myself, I have so many bad qualities. 99.9999% bad qualities. But that means 0.001. Okay, maybe if I'm talking about myself, it's 99.99999 bad qualities. But that means maybe there's 0.0001 good. 0.001. All you have to do is then, by the power of Guru and Vaishnavas, by the multiplying power of Krishna Bhakti. Why? Krishna knows that we're weak in Maya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes this in Dasamudra Tattva. We are weak in Maya. We are weak. We're always disturbed, especially in this age of Kali, right? Quarrelsome, lazy, not very intelligent, don't live very long. All these problems of the age, this time factor. So what to do? Krishna gives his mercy and he says, okay, if you try that 0.0001%, I'm just going to start moving the decimal points. Right? Through practice of bhakti, through association of Vaishnavas, now it's not 0.001, it's 0.001. And then after some years, it's only 0.001. And then it's 0.01. And then it's just 0.1. And then it's 1. And then it's 10. And then it's 100. Then it's 1,000. Then it's 10,000, then it's 100,000, then it's 1,000,000, then it's 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion. How many you want? Trillion? Sextillion? I don't even know what that number represents. Why Sachi Prabhu in Australia made this figure. He said, Krishna's appearing in this many trillion universes. According to every millisecond of time, he's appearing in a new universe. And in 311 trillion years, which is the age of this cosmic manifestation, all the universe, right? This age of this cosmic manifestation. In that amount of time, Krishna's appearing in different universes. And then again, it's coming out and going in. So the point is that Krishna, so powerful, Bhava Grahi Janardana, he accepts our mood. If we have 0.00001% good quality, which means bhakti, that tiny little bit of bhakti, and where is that? That is in the heart. People say, no, bhakti is not in the Atma. Then what are we, only zero? The Atma is something. It's not just zero. Oh, but there's no bhakti in the Atma. There's no bhakti in the Jiv. Bhakti means love and devotion for God. It means our intrinsic characteristic, our nature is to be a servant of God and to love God. That is our nature. Krishna, the Swarup, the Jiva, is relationship with Krishna. Therefore we are Das. We are Das because our relationship is loving relationship. And we are small, and therefore we are Das. We are finite, he is infinite. Right? But our relationship is based on love. But that is covered now. Chaito Dharpana Marjanam. How far covered? Prabhuji talked about this in Shiksastakam. We haven't published this Shiksastakam book yet, have we? Another book I need to work on. Buried underneath all of that anartas, all that grease, Chaito Dharpanam, all that grease, all that different stuff. It's hiding there. But by the power of sadhus, they start to clear all that stuff away and then magnify that like a microscope. Sadhus have the microscope. Oh, there's the good. It's right there. See it? No one else can see. Oh, it's there. And then they zoom in until it covers the whole screen. And it's only good. Only good. We see how many people in Gurudev's time, right? How many people do you see? Gurudev's life. Srila Prabhupada, right? Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, you look at his preaching. That's why people criticize Srila Prabhupada because they have no spiritual understanding or compassion. Oh, Prabhupada, all these people and all these bogus sannyasis and this and that. What did he build? And how much affection? That's why these people will die for Prabhupada, right? You ask them to die for Prabhupada, they say, where, how, when? Right? Really? I get to die for Prabhupada? They're like, I'm excited. I want to die for Prabhupada because how much he gave for us, right? Because how much compassion. He saw that 0.0001%. But that's the Atma. That's the reality. That's the Sat. Everything else is Asat. So it's not real. All the 99.9999% bad qualities is not real. That's Maya. And Maya is not real. It's not real. When you achieve your Swarup Siddhi, all those bad qualities aren't there in your spiritual perfection. We spoke about this in Vancouver. We gave like a 2-hour class, 2.5, because people kept coming later and later. They said how programs goes. So I started the program on time. We gave an hour class, and then 10 more people came, and I gave another hour class. We were talking about Putana and how she had the desire, by her nature, I want the Lord as my son, I will breastfeed him. But then this anarta came over, I'll poison him. Why? Confusion. It was only based on confusion. Oh, he's not treating my father right. Right? And he's binding him with the snakes and he's stealing everything. Oh, I had to give him poison. That was just based on confusion. The reality was she wanted to be his mother, and that was according to her Atma. The Atma is described to be 1/10,000th of the tip of a hair, right? 1/10,000th the tip of the hair. That's the Atma. And that's Shuddha, pure. Shuddha Sattva. The soul is Shuddha. The soul is pure. That's what Prahlad Maharaj said. Atma Nitya Shuddha. Prahlad Maharaj gave 12 characteristics of the soul. Atma Nitya Shuddha. The soul is eternally pure. Then what is this all this? This is Nasat. Nasato, Maya, 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 Maya. So if we don't act from the platform of compassion and love, then how can we preach? I've been thinking about this topic because I was thinking about addressing some of the very forefront issues in the American psyche, which is like things like the transgender issue. First, you have to understand this is Atma and treat with love and dignity and honor. Right? Women, I was thinking about this. You don't have a copyright, a trademark patent on being a woman.
man can be a woman also. Why? Next life. And sometimes people just want to accelerate the process. It's practice. Practice, woman. Right? Sorry, I'm not going to get too far into this, but I'll do another class separately. Right? I get to practice being a woman. Right? What's the harm? But the point is, look at the Atma, look at the good. What is in the heart? What is the purity? What is the love? And amplify that, magnify that, zoom in on that, and treat people with love and affection. And then these external things, they're all asat. Soul is not man or woman. Soul is soul. What is the nature of the Atma? Then we have to do that soul research. But first you have to have love and affection, understand, and have that, give people the dignity that they deserve as human beings. They may be a man dressing as a woman, but they're a human being. Right? And that deserves some dignity. That has some divine quality. Right? Okay, all these other things, right? The soul is pure. There is no sin that can touch the soul. That's all avidya, all ignorance, all illusion, all maya. Nasato. If it's not eternal, it's not real. This is what Krishna says in the Gita. This Paramagruda is one of his favorite verses. If it's not eternal, it's not ultimately real. Because what is real is the Atma, Paramatma, and everything else is maya, material energy. So the covering of material energy is now on us, 99.999% material energy. So it's all bad. 0.001%, that's the Atma, that's good. Why? What is unreal and what is real don't work well together. So therefore we're suffering in this material existence. Because what is unreal and what is real, they don't get along. And so we're suffering and we think, if I change my gender, I'll be happy. Right? People will respect me, people will appreciate it. There's so many things, I'm not getting into this topic in detail, but the point is, we're not going to be happy in life focusing on what is not eternal. We have to find what is eternal and focus on that. Then everything that's material can serve what is spiritual. Then we use our body as a temple. Right? Last night we were talking about this. We shouldn't be on the roller coaster of material life heading to a brick wall. Right? Oh, it's so fun. The best thing in material life is a roller coaster ride. And you climb up the ladder of education and success, you get to the top and then whee, and it's exhilarating, it's fun. And then you're going headlong into the wall. End of the ride is a brick wall. Actually, it's a hole. And there's a nice box waiting. Whee! And then you get to fly off there, and then end of the roller coaster. Yeah, and then you go through that box, and then you get taken up to the next ride. Right? There's another roller coaster. You get in, and then they strap you in, and then they dress you nicely, prepare you for the next ride. Suit, my best suit. Some people, they know when they're going to die, they can feel it, so they take a nice shower, put on perfume, they put on their best clothes, right? They want to present themselves nicely because they're getting ready for their next ride. So this material life, it's temporary, it's full of suffering, anityam. It's full of suffering, but the point is that bhakti yoga, that's the process that recognizes the perfect nature of the Atma, the soul, and focuses on that thing and just says, the hell with the rest. Our acharyas, they don't see, oh, this person is not qualified. The soul, every soul is qualified for Krishna Bhakti. By nature, every soul is qualified. This is the difference. Other systems say, oh, you're not a Brahmin, you're not qualified. You're not a scholar, you're not qualified. You don't have good habits, you're not qualified. Bhakti Prabhupada said, Gurudev was talking about Prabhupada. He said, never has Acharya been there like that. There's never been an Acharya like Prabhupada. He said, I will open a hostel and if necessary, I'll feed them meat. He didn't do it, but he had that conviction that this is all material. Nasat. I'm a meat eater and therefore they're bad. Meat eaters are bad. Meat eaters are bad. Oh, bogus, bogus, bogus. The soul doesn't eat meat. Where's the soul? Why don't you focus on the soul? The soul is eating meat. What is eating? Who is eating? It's all the material energy. Jiva jivasya. Jiva jivasya jivanam. This is all illusion. We're consuming and consuming, but what? Where is the soul? That Atma, how do you awaken that Atma? The best way is through bhakti, the multiplying, magnifying process. Everything else is, I'm going to pull myself up. I'm going to do it myself. Yoga, tapasya, gyan, ashtanga, kriya, vikram yoga. Slender and fit. Where's it going to go to? You can be very skinny and die, and you can be very obese and die. But it's all temporary, it's all illusion, it's all maya, it's all maya, it's all maya. So bhakti means focus on the good, and then by the power of Guru and Vaishnavas and Krishna, it's said that the Atma becomes like a lotus. And it's nourished by the rays of the sun. But without the water, it withers. So that quality still needs help, it still needs support. What is that? Guru and Krishna. Guru is the water, Krishna is the sun. It's a beautiful verse in Gaudiya Kantahar about this. Guru is the water, Krishna is the sun. Without the water, the sun will wither you. You need both. And you need the soil, Bhumi Devi, Sadhu Sangha. You need Sadhu Sangha, Guru and Krishna. That spiritual strength, through hearing Harikatha, through performing the process of bhakti, through chanting, those little things. Krishna says, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya. The smallest amount of this bhakti yoga, trayate mahato bhayat, frees you from the greatest fear. Frees you from the greatest fear. But yet, we think bhakti is not so important. Knowledge is important. Yoga is important. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says, anavritam. Don't cover your bhakti with these other processes. Pure bhakti. Right? Two swords don't like to stay in the same sheath. Not possible. So pure bhakti, everything else support. Support or reject. But pure bhakti reigns supreme. So how do we follow that pure bhakti? Rupa Goswami gives the process, 64 limbs of bhakti. Prahlad Maharaj gives nine limbs of bhakti. Rupa Goswami also said the 5 limbs of bhakti. The 1 limb of bhakti, Kalotad Hari Sankirtanat. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Meditate upon that by Sarvatma Snaparam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan. The supremely victorious Harinam Sankirtan. That is Harikatha and Kirtan. By the power of Harikatha and Kirtan, Shravan and Kirtan, then Smaran becomes possible, and then bhakti is very easy then. Right? We're not on the easy path, the cheap path. We're on the real path, which is the easy path. Because you can actually get to the destination. That's easy. If I were to tell you, you can get on your car and then you can go and get an airplane, you can get to India. Right now, you can get to India in like 16, 17 hours. You get in a car, get to the airport, and then there's a 14-hour flight from JFK to Delhi. So it still takes work, takes money, but it's easy. If I were to tell you, you have to build a boat, and then you have to figure out some mechanism to propel it and pay for it all, and then you can get to India. Or you can get really big shoe boats and you can walk. Right? With little engines on the back. Has anyone ever done that? Right? Each foot is like a little big shoe, big wood shoe, and you got engines on each one. And if one engine fails, it's just one leg's going forward. I'm walking to India, and then there's some propulsion that goes vroom, vroom, right? I'm walking on the water by the power of my intelligence. Just get on that airplane. You'll get there. No complication. So bhakti yoga takes effort, but it's the easy process because it can actually get you to your destination much faster than any other process and much easier than any other process. Krishna says, klesho dikatarastesham. Other process, klesho adik. Extra effort, extra pain, extra klesh, suffering. So bhakti yoga is the process that everything becomes multiplied, magnified, enhanced. Gurudev sees the good and the best and that quality. What is that? Beautiful. And they can see that and encourage that and then develop that. Therefore, Vaishnavas are very compassionate. We see that in our Prabhuji. People live in the temple 15 years, 18 years, sometimes for years and years and years, not doing anything. But they like doing this one little thing. How great, how wonderful. Right? Swami Prabhupada, he was it Seattle or somewhere like that? I don't know why I'm thinking like that, but someone brought him a toilet paper roll. New York. 26 Second Avenue. I guess I was just in Seattle and Portland, so we're seeing similar kinds of people. 26 Second Avenue, Prabhupada was giving class and someone walked in with a toilet paper roll.
A bum, he was intoxicated.
An intoxicated bum. said, Prabhupada, here's your toilet paper roll. Maybe it can be used for the temple.
He walked in, he put it in the bathroom, and then he walked out, and he was just weeping, he couldn't walk straight. And then Prabhupada said, he was giving class, Prabhupada said, oh, his devotional service has now begun.
See, this is Sukriti. This is Krishna's process. Krishna has all these devotees out there in the world just giving people Sukriti. Giving, Sukriti coin, freely, everywhere. Right? Everywhere, give Sukriti. That's the whole purpose of Varnashram Dharma, just to give a chance that it teaches a culture of service and that you may serve a sadhu and your spiritual life begins. So, I'm going to be focusing more on this service. There's so many services, but especially for training and Harikatha, Kirtan. Evening time we'll be speaking on Ras Panchadhyay. Morning time you're speaking tomorrow, Fridays and Mondays. I don't know the other days of the week. We have our schedule. Morning times I'm going to, wherever I am, whether I'm here or not here, I'm going to focus for the next few months on learning bhajans, memorizing bhajans. Because Gurudev would ask people to sing, and he didn't like it when they used the book. It's like this, I've asked you to sing this song for years, you didn't learn it? Madhava Bahutaminati Koritai. These are the slokas, these songs of our acharyas. So I want to memorize some of these songs and speak on these songs. And we're starting like our academy online, on Zoom, and also here when we're here, but it'll always be available. If I'm not here, the regular class will be recorded and published later, but I'll try to make it so that the academy courses and the classes can be attended. And so I plan on doing some of that, learning bhajans, learning how to sing them nicely, right? Play the instruments nicely. I'll try to be fixed on that. It's hard when I have a lot of different responsibilities, so I'm trying to focus on that essence and focus on that, and then everything will be maintained organically. So I'm going to be doing that. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. I may even do a short midday program so that everyone can, some people who are interested, right? Especially those who are serving in books and things like that. It's good to check in a few times of the day to keep ourselves focused and straight. Okay, so we're praying to serve Srila Gurudev and the Vaishnavas and please them. Most important thing, most needed thing is love and affection and spiritual support. Everywhere I go, I see people suffering and struggling, even devotees of many years, struggling, suffering, confused, discouraged, without almost like at the edge of hopelessness. Why? Hope means something from outside, like if you're in a battle and you're overwhelming odds against you. You're like hopeless. But then you see over the horizon, an army is running to help you, to save you. Therefore we should understand, even though the soul is pure and good, we're still surrounded by Maya. We've got ourselves in this mess and we don't know how to get out. We're stuck in that web. So we need help. And so if we can help by remembering Srila Gurudev, his Harikatha, everywhere we were going, we had all Gurudev's books, all of them. And people were like, wow. And we're just getting started. In a couple months, Vrindavan Prabhu just last night finished volume 48. Now he's doing 49. And volume 50 already gave me. Because we're doing each place now. So each one is about 150 pages or so forth. So we're gonna need bigger tables. Table here, table here, table here, and we can put out 100 books, and then, what do we speak about today? Let's speak about this book. And you just open up anywhere, and it's nectar, nectar, nectar. Any book, open it up, it's just nectar. So people say, I don't have time to read it all. Hari is ananta, Harikatha is ananta. Harikatha is unlimited. Who said you have to read it all? But you should understand and appreciate and have it. And then open, gradually. Don't feel like the journey is, the goal of the journey in bhakti is love. And so if you love Gurudev and you read some Harikatha, the goal isn't to finish all his Harikatha. It's not possible. Gurudev right now is probably speaking somewhere. So where's that book, Vrindavan? Who's transcribing the class you gave today? Who's transcribing Prabhupada's class he gave today? So we are publishing all these books to remind people that Guru is Nitya, and by serving Harikatha, we can go and be with him. right? This is what frustrates me. Everyone thinks we're in the past. Oh, Gurudev, right? Past tense. No, Gurudev and Prabhupada are present continuous. Present continuous. This is what I get that's why people feel hopeless. Because Gurudev's there, but you think he's not. Prabhupada is there, but you think he's not. Guru Varga is there, but you think they're not. And now you think everything is dependent on you and who is the next Acharya. Everyone's asking me, who is the next Acharya? Who is the next Acharya? Acharya is self-manifest. Vaishnavas are always present. And we should always seek high-class association. But that doesn't mean the Purva Acharyas are only in the past. Gurudev is present right now, right? And by his potency is also present here. He's present in the hearts of all the devotees. But he's also present in Nitya Lila. And he's also present in Acharya. So Gurudev is our present Acharya of Bhakta-bandha mission. Srila Gurudev and Srila Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, they are the present Acharyas. You can say, oh, right? Is Swami Prabhupada present Acharya of ISKCON or past Acharya of ISKCON? Right? So we say Srila Gurudev and Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada are present Acharyas of our mission. That's not Ritvik. We're not following Ritvik. But Guru is Nitya. Guru is eternal. There's a process. By serving and helping people, we also connect to them and receive their mercy and shelter, and they're happy by seeing us endeavor to help people. Gurudev said, be like my postman, be like my representatives. Why? This is our training program and other people's training program, and their presence is supporting everything. But this is our meditation. So we're publishing all Gurudev's Harikatha. The point I'm making is that don't think you can come to the end of Gurudev's Harikatha. And then we'll publish 200 books and then it's finished. But these 200 books that he preached in this world, from 1996 to 2010, those will be the pillars of our mission for 1,000 years. That's what I'm telling you. So you don't have to think, oh, who's going to read them now? Who's going to read them in hundreds of years? The point is that those books are the pillars of our Bhakta-bandha mission for the rest of this age. Gurudev is the present Acharya, and more Acharyas will come. Right? Like we always pray to 6 Goswamis. Right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. They're not past. So why is Gurudev past? Swami Prabhupada, like we hear Rupa Goswami's, are they going to read Rupa Goswami's teachings in 1,000 years from now? People read Plato, right? So they read Rupa Goswami's teachings, they'll hear and follow Srila Gurudev because that's the essence of Rupa Goswami's teachings also. And he's our mission Acharya. And in this way we're connected to the whole parampara, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Gurudev's books, it's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it's Rupa Goswami, it's the essence of everything. And we'll hear all the Goswami literature, but especially Gurudev's branch of this Mahaprabhu's tree, which is eternal, right? A branch of the tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family, Gaudiya Saraswat Dhara. So that branch, what Gurudev gave, and all the branches that come from that branch, we have to remember and take shelter of Srila Gurudev. Gurudev is not just some personality who came and then left, and then, oh, he was nice, he was sweet, he was very affectionate, and now it's over, and now, oh no. Gurudev's mission, full stop. Gurudev's mission, full stop. Not even semicolon. Right? We say semicolon, not semicolon, colon, but this is only beginning a list. Full stop means one dot, but we are not Mayavadis. Right? Radha Krishna, at least 2. And that means continuing. So sometimes there's some colon, right? But that means continue. Colon means continue. It continues. The line continues. The list continues. And everywhere, in every disciple who's serving Gurudev's Katha, then Gurudev's power is present, then that line continues. Right? That's how ISKCON continues. Everyone says, oh, Prabhupada is our Shiksha Guru of our mission. Like Mahaprabhu is our Shiksha Guru, Rupa Goswami is our Shiksha Guru, so also Gurudev. We're not Gurudeva Anugas, we're Rupa Anugas. But real Rupa Anuga also means Guru Pada Padma Anuga. Right? Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada means take shelter of Shri Rupa Manjari by taking shelter of Guru Manjari. Jaiva Dharma, chapter 38, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that if you're in the path of Manjari Bhav, then you see your guru like Rupa Manjari. He can bring you to the service of Srimati Radhika. He brings you to Rupa Manjari. So you see him like her dut, her messenger. So Gurudev is like that. And so we are establishing the mission of Srila Gurudev that he is establishing. We are simply serving. Gurudev is traveling, preaching. We are simply following his footsteps and serving. He's preaching his katha, especially when we travel, sharing Gurudev's katha. So this is our meditation, our service. These books are the pillars of the mission. The stamba, foundation and the pillars. And then so much other Harikatha will come, but this is ananta, unlimited. So the best service for those in the renounced order of life is to Harikatha because it makes us fixed and helps others people also.